Hi friends, I'm Jana.eubank. Today I am working with the May 2026 kits from Hip Kit Club. Now today I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can get started with your kit. A lot of times we have all of these brand new fresh papers sitting in front of us, and it can be a little daunting about deciding where to start, especially where to start cutting into your papers. And today I want to talk a little bit about using your photos as inspiration for your page design and to help you get started. For me, today I am working with some photos of my daughter trying on a whole bunch of different dresses for her prom. I printed off the photo of the picture of the dress that she decided to buy in a larger size. It's about a 3.5 by 5 inch. And then all of the other photos we printed off in a 2 by 3 size. I decided to group all of the smaller photos together in a column off to the right. And then the photo of the dress that she picked, I did larger off to the left. And this kicked off my page design. You can see I have kind of a sideways T shape going on. So I'm going to work with that and just start cutting some layers. Now for the main photo, I wanted to set or off that photo or highlight it a little bit. So I chose to mat it with the pretty lace paper because of that dark blue color that matched the color of the dress. Now, all the other pictures I put onto a lighter blue paper and I grouped them together, but I did want to balance out that blue paper. So I found another blue pattern paper in the kit and I cut out an offset layer to kind of set to the right and balance off the blues on both sides of the page. And that's where I'm going to start today. Now on the back of the scrap of the blue paper was that doily pattern, and I decided to fussy cut out the 2 little doilies that were left and just tuck them there on the right hand side. And I'm going to use that kind of as a base for an embellishment cluster. Now because I did that doily layering over on the right, I'm going to put a doily over here on the left. So I found this doily die cut in the cardstock shape die cuts, and I also found some flowers. Flowers are always perfect to go with dresses and prom, so that's the direction I'm going to go today. I also knew that I wanted to use that foam cardstock sticker that said your fave next to the dress that she picked. So I did find a little label shape to put that on, to anchor that on, and I tucked that in with the flowers. Now because I had the flowers going, of course I'm going to try to start working with a visual triangle here with my embellishment clusters, and you can start to see this design take shape. We had the floral embellishment cluster over here on the left, and then I added some florals over on top of those doily shapes on the right. And this is where I'm going to begin my page. Now in the kit, there are also these gorgeous gold embossed die cuts, and I thought it would be so fun to add in some of these leaf shapes to help that floral cluster on the left feel a little bit larger and to really frame out that main photo. I also really loved the bow piece that was in that in those gold embossed pieces, and I'm going to use that over on to highlight or to not highlight, but to accent the pictures over on the left. So I'm just setting it there for a minute. Now in the cardstock die cuts, there were also these really cute heart shapes, which of course is really fun with frilly dresses and prom, right? And so I decided to accent the main photo with a couple of those, and then I left out the other 2 that matched that, and I'm going to eventually use that over on the bottom right of the layout to build or to create my third visual or my third cluster or my visual triangle. Now in the meantime, I wanted to pick out another title piece to go below the photo, and I picked out that green Cherished Moments die cut that I'm going to use for the title there. I did bring over the foam stickers again to see if there was something else that would work better in that place, but I really liked that green color. I liked how it brought in the color of the leaves of the floral embellishment clusters, and so I'm going to go with that. Now, one of the pattern papers in the paper kit is a floral paper, and I always love to fussy cut that one out. So I did go over to that and bring in a bunch of little tiny orange and pink flowers to just accent and fill out those floral clusters. And so that is what I placed there. Next, I'm going to place a couple of leaf branch die cuts with some gold foiling on them to anchor that bow die cut. And then I'm going to also place this heart, or layer together these 2 hearts in the bottom right of this column of photos. And I think that works out nicely. I'll come back in with some more of those fussy cut tiny flowers just so that every little embellishment cluster has those floral die cuts. And I think that rounds things out nicely. Now I'm looking for some more things to accent the title here at the bottom. I found this teeny tiny blush tag, and I decided that it would be fun to have that sticking out of the left side of the title. So I'm going to place that there, just pop it up with a little foam square, And then I brought in some thin white twine to just add a little bit of fabric or twine texture there. Now I also wanted to underline that final, that title with something else. So I'm looking through the die cuts here. I'm looking through for a phrase or something like that. I go over to the journal die cuts and I find a pink label shape that I'm going to place underneath that title, and I'll place that there in a second. I also found these circular journal pieces, and I'm going to place those above the photo to hold my journaling at the end of this video. So I'll go ahead and place that pink label there at the bottom. I like how that repeats the colors that are in the floral clusters. And then I'm going to grab the Pocket Life stamp and stamp one of those phrases there. And that one says, "Such good memories." And I think that works out perfectly. I'll come back later and also stamp in some little hearts on either side of that phrase. But in the meantime, I thought that I have two clusters that have doilies in them. And I thought, I got to add a third doily here just to balance everything out. So I picked out this green doily. I'm going to fussy cut that a little bit and tuck that at the top of the page with those other journal pieces. Now, this pretty much finishes off this page, but I am going to again come back in with those heart stamps and add that to the pink label at the bottom. And then off camera, I am going to add some of the puffy shape stickers. I really love the birds in this layout or in this kit, so I'm going to add a couple of those on a branch above the title, and you'll see those in the closing shots. I'm also going to add a bird next to the floral cluster in the upper right corner, and then I'm going to add the puffy camera and a puffy flower to the left of this pink label. So be sure to notice that in the closing shots. Again, these are the May 2026 kits from Hip Kit Club. It's such a beautiful kit. All these fun florals were just perfect for these photos of my daughter trying on a bunch of different prom dresses. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you again soon.